Hi, I'm Shannon Burkhoff. I have a background in healthcare and business, and I live in Kenosha, Wisconsin with my family. I was diagnosed with narcolepsy in 2010 at the age of 34, and I'd like to share my journey with this misunderstood sleep disorder that is not at all like it's portrayed in the movies. Before narcolepsy, I graduated from college, I married my high school sweetheart, I managed a 77-chair dental clinic, and then I became a mother. After I became a mom, I had a successful career in real estate. I love traveling, spending time with my family, photography, scrapbooking. I volunteer at my daughter's school as well as at church. My life was very full. But once I hit my late 20s, something had changed. I started getting forgetful. I started getting sleepier more often. I was more clumsier than usual. I remember telling my doctor these things, and they kept brushing it off as symptoms of my fibromyalgia that I had. So they never really paid a lot of attention to what I was trying to tell them, that this sleepiness, this tiredness was so consuming in my life. I was getting so sleepy so often, and that I would fall asleep at home on the couch. I'd forget an appointment, and that was so unlike me and so embarrassing. I hated it. I hated not being accountable or reliable anymore. I didn't know who I was anymore, and I didn't know why this was happening. It just comes on so out of the blue that you don't realize what's going on. I remember the day that I woke in the middle of the night to find my room filled with smoke and realize my house was on fire. The smoke was so thick, I could feel it, I could taste it, I could smell it. I frantically woke my husband to get out of bed so we could get out of the house. He jumped out of bed, startled, looked around, and he looked at me and he said, "What are you talking about? There's no smoke, there's no fire." And I said to him, "What are you talking about? We need to get out of here." He just looked at me and said, "Are you okay? There's no smoke, there's no fire." And as I looked at him, the smoke started to dissipate. It started to disappear. And I realized he was right, that there was no smoke and there was no fire. And I didn't know what was going on. It's an experience you don't forget. And yeah, it's something that we can continue to have over and over again. And because it's so real, you don't know. You have to make sure that it's not before you can move on from it. So as my symptoms progressed, I started withdrawing from social situations. I stopped doing things one by one until I found myself at home alone, not doing much of anything. I didn't have any energy to do anything anymore, and I couldn't explain it. It was very hard for me and very isolating, and I felt very alone. I didn't know what was going on. It was an identity crisis, so to speak, because I couldn't do what I was doing anymore. So finally, after complaining about being tired so often, to appease me, my doctors ordered a sleep study. I had the sleep study done, and I was dumbfounded at the diagnosis of narcolepsy. I thought, I don't have narcolepsy. I don't pass out at the dinner table with my face in my plate of spaghetti. That doesn't happen. That's not what this is. And he explained to me, no, that's not what it is. He handed me the brochure, told me I could look up information online, handed me a prescription for a stimulant, told me that I was fine to drive, but that I would never be able to get my pilot's license. And I thought to myself in that moment, does he realize that he just killed a dream of mine, that I will never be able to get my pilot's license? And does he even care?